Evening all, welcome back to Space Engineers. Right, this is the follow-on from our military conquest of the military escort, whatever it was called. Actually, it's pretty, well, no, you could strip it for parts, but to be honest with you, I don't really want to do that. It feels like cheating to do that. Well, maybe we'll nick a few bits from it. But I think what we're going to do is actually clean up. Now, because obviously we did open the map and we had some Brosevs join us, that meant that everybody flew their little spawned buggy to the flagship, which is then caused a few issues as you can see here. The map slowed down a bit because obviously we've got so many things around us. And also I needed to tidy up the fighters, and a space engineer's work is just never done, and there's wrecks like this. I mean, that's pretty, I don't know what to do with that. Tell me what you think I should do with that. There's no ability to copy, delete and paste and all that, so because that's obviously been disabled. So the only thing I really can do is salvage some of the parts, but otherwise we're going to fly these into a rock. Oh yeah, that's how we're going to do waste management in this game now. I have decided, because to be honest, there's so many things that spawn now, as part of the game. So every time a player joins, one of these spawns for them to move around in, which again is needed. And also, as the NPC stuff is now starting to come in, it's actually really good. Last night I obviously got this military escort one, which has got some really nice parts in it, so we're obviously going to steal them for that. But there was something yesterday. There's all different types. Like yesterday, a private sail was spawned in. It's private sail, S-A-I-L. And it was literally a cargo can with solar panels that was moving in space. And I thought it was very nice. So not much to loot, though. So, we did a bit of looting. And then, to be honest, I didn't even bother commandeering it. I just checked it out, saw there was nothing really to do with it. So then I just basically sent it on its merry way, indeed. Now, let's do some waste management. So let's throw this thing in the garbage, or if you're in the Britain, then rubbish. And what we're going to do is we're going to aim it at a rock, and then we're going to put engines to full, and then we're going to turn the inertia dampener off, and then we're going to bail out. And that's pretty much what we're going to start doing with these things. Eventually, this will create a massive junkyard that I'll probably have to go deal with. But at the end of the day, I've got rockets and warheads for that. So I just want to put them all in one place to begin with. Now, admittedly, firing them at the place where I have to come and mine isn't the wisest thing I've ever done, but hey, when does logic ever come into a lot of gaming? And as you can see, this is not my best idea. However, we're getting up some good speed, almost at maximum speed. The inertia dampener goes off, and then what we do is we just simply bail out. You literally just press T, and then here we go. We just jump out the side of the thing. I then switch my inertia dampener off, because otherwise I'm going to hit that rock very squishily hard. And there we go. And kapow! Now, what I'll do next time, now I know that's how it works, is I will probably build... in fact, and now I think about it, I'm going to position a big ship in the middle of nowhere, and then I'll put warheads on the ship that I'm firing at it, and then they'll destroy each other. Nice idea. So we just then scoot back to our flagship. It's not a major deal, but again, a lot of people, again, very, very nicely, a lot of people have been telling me they're playing this game now, which is heartening to hear. And I think, I hope you have as much fun as I certainly do with this game. And the only thing I would probably say is before you buy it, maybe just check your technical specs against the website or the forums, because I don't have a good PC in any imaginative terms. It's a really old, crappy PC. But the one thing I have always had a lot of in the PC is the memory. I think I've got 32 gigs, or maybe even 64, something stupid like that. Because way back in the day, that was what you needed to run Eve with multiple accounts, and that's why I obviously got it. But the memory seems to help me a lot here, so I don't have too much issues. But my graphics card is like 150 quid graphics card from like 4 years ago, maybe. And it's crap, but look, it still runs everything fine. The processor I've got is an i7. It's good, but it certainly wasn't the best one you could buy. And I would say that also is, an interesting kind of marker of this thing. Look at that, we have some missiles to spare, so I'm just going to start wrecking some of this stuff. It's funny because space engineers will soon very much become space refuse waste management operatives, I think, because it's a lot of crap is being created in space, literally like IRL around the Earth at the moment. There's, if you've seen Gravity, I'm on about. There's so much crap in orbit, quite literally crap as well, flying around frozen solid, that if it pings past you or hits something, it's going to make some damage. So, and it's also not going to smell very nice either. What am I talking about? So as we, you know, sorry, I'm just imagining this huge piece of space crap frozen to absolute zero, pinging through George Clooney's helmet in that film. I would have paid money to see that, potentially. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're now going to switch off these effing beacons, because, again, I've got too many beacons on as well. So we're going to start managing some of the beacons, switching them off, and then also we're going to get rid of that military transport as well, because, I mean, yes, I could spend my time becoming like, you know, a kind of mega ship salvage yard in India, where we just, you know, just strip and mine and take literally just take all of the materials out of a vessel. But I don't know, I don't really want to do that if I can avoid that. So maybe we'll do that another time. But can you imagine grinding all that? Sod that. So we're just going to switch the beacon off, because I get annoyed if there's a beacon. If there's too many beacons, I get annoyed. It really bothers me. And we're going to fly this also into a rock. But we'll do this one a lot less, because there's still quite a lot of very usable components on this ship. We're not going to destroy it, but we're just going to gently rest it against that rock that you saw me do the first one with. Now, the only problem is this military transport moves about as fast as an asthmatic snail that's literally been covered in shit. And so they don't move quick at all. So a lot of the time, you know, that's actually a good point. You have to understand how momentum works in this game, because if you just give something a gentle push, it will keep moving if you switch the inertia dampeners off. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I go into the vessel here, it's not a bad little vessel. I mean, look, it's got some nice features to it. It's got some uranium in it, so that means you're going to have a nice supply of uranium coming into the sector. But other than that, there's not much more I can really do with this. Yes, I could strip it for the parts. Yes, I could spend time grinding it out and having lots of internal walls, but I can't be bothered. I really can't. I'd rather go and mine and build the bits myself. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do exactly what I did before, but this time I probably need to think about how I'm going to get out of this thing. But again, yeah, I could probably squeeze through that. You know, I'm not a heifer. And we're then going to, so here we go, we're going to start moving this. Now, to be honest, you know, I'm a bit in two minds about this, because it is not a bad ship, and maybe it's foolish to kind of destroy it. So as I put full thrust on, you know, its full thrust in this is pretty low, because it's not a fast ship at all. So we switch the inertia dampener off. We get it to what, about 15-20 meters per second, and then we bail. And that thing eventually will hit that rock, but it won't hit it hard enough to destroy it. It will just gently come to rest against it, maybe. You know, there it goes, off it goes. The momentum in this game is glorious, it really is. So we've got these two kind of bits of space wreckage around. You can still see my frames per second are pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the whole flagship now. I wish I hadn't done this, because again, what is about to happen isn't good. I realised I hadn't finished my engines on this thing, as I failed to go through a bloody great big hangar door. The engines aren't finished on this, so there's actually no ability to slow down. Yeah, it's not comical. Nothing happens. Don't worry, bro. I know you sat there thinking, oh, wow, I get to see him destroy this wonderful ship that he's so proud of. No, I don't. But it's very frustrating. It was brown trouser moment. So, yeah. What we do here as well is there's a preparation to do this. So as you see, we're going to move our miner. We're going to dock our miner. I find that if you're moving ships with smaller ships attached to them through landing gear, press Y when you get out the ship. Okay, so dock it, press P to latch it to your hull, then press Y, and that switches everything off. It does seem that when you don't do this, you do generally tend to find a fighter here or there is wrenched off the wall and then damages everything around it. So I found this to be quite beneficial. But we'll see. We will see. So as we latch on, I now press Y. There you go, switched off. And then that thing, in theory, is not going to cause us too many issues as we move. I would recommend you do that. Plus, it also preserves your store of uranium on these ships, because, you know, they are all powered by uranium. So, you know, that is not an infinite resource anymore. So here we go, as we then move our arses up to the bridge. Look at this, look at this. This is fun. I'm so glad I built this. I'm so glad I've got this ship actually back. I did cheat because I didn't build all of it, but look, you know, give me a break, bro. Come on. So we get into our captain's chair, and what we think now is, right, engage. And then we basically put our foot down. Now, I'm nervous doing this because every time I move this ship, stuff breaks, okay? And as you can see, my engines at the back aren't complete, and it should have been at that point that I realized, yeah. So look, I'm spinning round. I'm trying to find what's working and what's not working, and at the moment, I'm thinking, okay, everything's fine. Everything's okay. So I start to pick up speed, as you can see, with them moving away from this kind of, you know, crappy zone. And I don't like doing this, but to be honest, you know, your flagship, or rather your main ship, should be somewhere where you don't have lag at all. Do you know what I mean? And I think the lag of the game at the moment is just so many things coming to one area and causing problems. Now, something does go ping here. I couldn't tell you what it was, but eventually I realized the ship doesn't slow down, and yeah, there you go. See, something just exploded on the ship. I don't know what the hell that was. Something just went bang. Don't worry though. It was just the fact that one of my retros had not been finished, so I went and finished it, and that was done. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.